$50.18. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,338 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $59, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,342. Antiwar.com reports President Trump announced he canceled a trip to London this week because it would have coincided with the opening of the new U.S. Embassy to the United Kingdom, an embassy he opposes and for which he blamed President Obama. Trump complained the old embassy was better and that Obama moved it to an off location and sold the old one for peanuts. He said it was a bad deal and he would not cut the ribbon on the new building. In reality, President Bush started the embassy move supposedly for security reasons, with State Department people saying upgrades to the old site would cost too much, even though it was in a much fancier area. The White House followed this up with a statement denying the trip was canceled, despite President Trump explicitly saying, "I canceled my trip to London." The White House insisted he accepted the idea of visiting in a future date. British officials insisted that President Trump remains welcome to visit at some point in the future, while London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, said it was a relief that Trump was not coming and that he does not consider Trump particularly welcome.
Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io.
UPI reports Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos announced Friday he will support students protected under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program with $33 million in scholarships. Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie's donation will fund 1,000 scholarships since the program's dreamers are not eligible for federal financial aid. Jeff Bezos said, "My dad came to the U.S. when he was 16 as part of Operation Pedro Pan. He landed in the country alone and unable to speak English. With a lot of grit and determination and the help of some remarkable organizations in Delaware, my dad became an outstanding citizen, and he continues to give back to the country that he feels blessed him in so many ways. Mackenzie and I are honored to be able to help today's dreamers by funding these scholarships." The organization Bezos donated to, thedream.us, partners with low-cost colleges in 15 states to help 800,000 DACA recipients pay for college. Candy Marshall, president of thedream.us, said, "Our students are highly motivated and determined to succeed in college and in life. We're a 3.5-year-old program, so we don't have graduation rates." Other donors to the initiative include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Pershing Square Foundation, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Robin Hood Foundation, the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the PepsiCo Foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation, and Don, Bill, and Steve Graham. Marshall added, "Everyone who believes in education and is a friend of the Dreamers would like to thank Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos for this magnificent gift. It's a shot in the arm for Dreamer students at a time when some are questioning whether they should be in the United States at all." Bezos and 100 other business leaders co-signed a letter to Congress last week calling for legal relief for DACA members after President Trump announced his administration would end the program.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports rescue crews expanded their search on Friday for 5 missing people as death tolls rose to 18 from mudslides in Southern California that damaged hundreds of buildings and caked highways with sludge. The California Governor's Office of Emergency Services said about 1,250 emergency workers raced against the clock to find survivors with drones, heavy equipment, and sniffer dogs in rescue and cleanup efforts. Santa Barbara County Fire Department spokesman Mike Eliason said, "We've got a window that's closing, but we're still very optimistic. There's been plenty of cases where they found people a week after." Officials said secondary searches of damaged structures were underway. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Following today's press conference in which NASA announced its continuing search for a planet capable of supporting NASA, researcher Dr. Kenneth Heiser sat down with Onion reporters to detail their ongoing mission to find a NASA habitable planet.
Our objective is to find a planet capable of nurturing not just life, but also a sustained interest in the exploration of the cosmos. Such a planet would need to have water and proximity to light and heat, but also life forms with even the vaguest understanding of the importance of astronomical exploration. Ultimately, this would need to be a planet with organisms that have a genuine interest in expanding the limits of their knowledge.
Heiser added that any planet capable of supporting NASA would need to be able to generate a steady stream of financing to meet the agency's $18 billion annual budget.
The important thing is we just need to be patient. There's a limitless number of planets in the universe, and eventually we'll find one with the resources to support our work. We just have to, right?
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. This is Free Talk Live, and of course, you can take control of the airwaves here toll-free at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And joining you in the studio tonight here, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Will.
You're welcome to bring up what you want. We, of course, always bring things in that we think you might find interesting. And welcome to our Saturday night audience. On the radio and on the internet, on satellite. We are in a lot of different places.
Everywhere.
As of this week, adding Twitch. We got a Twitch channel. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on here
We're
tonight.
Like Santa Claus and the Scientologists.
And
We're
also
Santa Claus and Scientologists. We are everywhere.
Also, we are on Discord as well, which is a new thing. And I just last night set up a call-in channel for Discord. So somebody had suggested in one of the Discord chats, which for those that don't know is an internet-based kind of chat room and voice chat mixed in sort of together server. And so we do have now a call-in line room on Discord. This is experimental. That's something we've never had before. I don't know how it's going to sound. I think as long as you've got a decent quality microphone, it should sound all right. But I know Discord does the voice activation rather than a constant audio stream. So if somebody wants to try that tonight, we can give it a shot.
Yeah, I had a conversation with one of the people in the FTL group.
A voice conversation?
Voice conversation. Yep. We probably talked for maybe half an hour.
Wow.
And it was basically Skype quality.
Was this after the show was over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
cool.
was just later at night. I popped into one of the voice channels to see if anybody was up to test it, and somebody
it worked.
pinged me, and they just started talking. I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
So check it out. Check out the Discord over at discord.lrn.fm, and that'll take you right into there. It's super easy to get into that. So our toll-free number, again, if you want to call on the phones, 855-450-FREE, like freedom, and then Skype us at lrn.fm. Coming up, the sex offender registry has been proposed as a punishment for people who get convicted of the so-called crime of revenge porn, which means to take a nude photo or sexy photo of somebody that you used to have a relationship with, and then to post it online without their consent. That is apparently a criminal act in some places, including New Hampshire. And so now the proposal is to add that person to a sex offender registry as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that seems like a little bit of a stretch.
For real.
Yeah. So we can talk about that. Also, the Subway sandwich $5 footlong is done for in Seattle.
Yep.
Apparently.
At least now, yeah.
So why is that, Chris? What has happened in Seattle?
Well, a whole lot of things happen in Seattle. Seattle is a progressive 21st century city, and they do all sorts of interesting things, like raise their minimum wage and come up with new requirements for business to offer additional benefits, and the list kind of goes on and on. But do you want me to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into it. They raised
the
the minimum wage, didn't they, to what, 15 an hour?
15.
Or is it on a step-up thing where it's like 12, 13?
It does.
Over a few years?
Gradually increased. But this comes to us from Reason.
But it has gone up. It's gone up from...
Well, actually, they haven't raised it to 15 yet.
Right, it's a step-up. So every year
it's in the progress.
Well, they passed, what was it, the $14 one this last year. And now they want to pass a $15 one.
Okay, I thought they passed a $15 law that has a step-up provision where every year or two it goes up. Yeah.
Okay.
You probably remember Subway's famous $5 footlong promotion as much for the obnoxiously catchy jingle as for the sandwiches themselves. Sorry for getting that stuck in your head all day.
I don't know what the jingle is. I don't watch television.
Oh, you don't remember that song about the $5?
Nope.
It's on the radio, too, man. It's infectious.
It is. The sandwich chain recently resurrected the promotion in a national advertising campaign promising footlong subs for just $4.99, but the special deal won't fly at one Subway restaurant in Seattle where owner David Jones posted a sign this week giving customers the bad news. Here's that sign, courtesy of Christison Alisis, an executive assistant at the Washington Policy Center. And I'm going to read this for you.
Okay.
Dear Seattle Subway patrons, unfortunately, we are not participating in the $4.99 footlong promotion.
They want to.
They'd love to.
Can't.
The cost of doing business in the city of Seattle is very high. I'm sorry, this is really poor print.
Is it handwritten?
No, we are balancing the higher minimum wages in the nation, paid sick leave, ACA.
So all these regulations.
Right. There's another thing that involves scheduling where you have to meet the employees' scheduling requests.
Is this a Seattle thing or a national?
Seattle.
Seattle, okay.
The new soda tax and much more. Keep an eye on this sign because I hope to announce a way that we can have $1 off the BLT, CCT, ham, meatball, spicy devil David Jones.
So he hopes, but
spicy Italian
may not be
and
possible.
Veggie sandwiches, yeah. But there were a whole number of things there that he lists that are all very, very much negative towards business and make the cost of doing business higher.
Which means that if the cost of doing business is higher, the cost of the sandwich is higher.
Exactly.
That's why when you're at an airport, you see much higher prices on a lot of things because, well, not only are you sort of caught in this zone where you can't leave and they kind of know they can raise the prices, but there is still some level of competition within the airport because there's multiple different businesses there. They're paying more in rent at those airport locations, so they got to pay that rent, which means that, there are no $5 footlongs at an airport and there's no $5 footlongs in Seattle at this Subway, according to this franchisee.
Absolutely. Sadly, the consequences of high minimum wage, excessive taxation, and mandate-happy public policy are not limited to the death of cheap sandwiches. The cost of doing business
now, this
in
is
Seattle.
Reason. We're off the sign at this point, right? You're not reading the sign?
Yes, that's correct.
Reason.com?
The cost of doing business in Seattle is higher than the Space Needle, and the unintended consequences of those policies are piling up, too. The biggest cost driver, as Jones Signs mentions, is Seattle's highest in the nation minimum wage. It went from $9.47 to $11 per hour in 2015.
Okay.
Then to $13 per hour in 2016, and a further increase to $15 per hour is planned.
So it's at $13 an hour right now, and it has been since 2016.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And we're just going to bump it from 13 to 15.
And that's basically, twice what the nation minimum wage is. Isn't that like $7.50 or something like that?
National minimum wage is $7.35.
$7.35.
Yeah, so more than.
So
Yeah, more than double.
Well, now wait a second. National minimum wage for federal employees. If you work for the state, your minimum wage is $10 an hour. But for normal civilian paupers out here, they $7.35 an hour.
Is there actually a U.S. government employee that makes $10 an hour? I can't imagine that.
I'd be shocked.
I would
if that
too.
were the case. I mean,
I just know that is the minimum wage.
I'm not doubting you.
For federal employees.
I'm just finding that really.
Or it was, unless it's been raised recently. It was 10.
Maybe for some kind of a temp worker or something like that. But usually
who's not part of one of the federal unions. Too.
Yeah.
You know what this really reminds me of is that there was a story you guys covered about. Oh Lord, it's been almost 10 years ago. About the best dressed shoe shine salesman in San Francisco. And basically, like in the most pinko commie city, in the most pinko commie state in the entire union, San Francisco, California, this guy had fallen through the cracks, and he tried to get in on the bottom rung of the business ladder, which is shining shoes on the street corner. And he was like $12, $13 worth of shoe shines from getting himself off the street and into an apartment. Yeah, and the city government came after him. And
you need like a peddler's permit or something, right?
Yeah. They came and they took everything he had but like $6. And they were like, it was meant to be educational. They weren't out there to rob. Yeah, they weren't out there to rob him at gunpoint and, you know, of all the money that he had earned to get himself off the street. No, they were there. He needed to learn that everybody has to pay, and they want to keep San Francisco's streets nice. Translation: you're too poor to be allowed.
We don't want your kind around.
We don't want your kind around here. It's the same thing, man. Like no matter what level of the economic ladder that they can, the city and state governments are throwing up walls, and it's always in this like, oh, but we're helping. We're helping.
The minimum wage is supposed to help people. I mean, what? You're mad about paying $20 for a sandwich?
Don't you want a living wage?
$4.50 free if you want to join us. 855-450-3733 or Skype username LRN.FM, or try the Discord.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Thinking about getting into cryptocurrency? It's time you looked into Dash. Dash is digital money that you can use to send instant and private payments anywhere for pennies. Dash offers a decentralized network where miners are rewarded for keeping it strong and safe. Dash has made a huge impact in the crypto world. Start your journey. Check out dash.org for more information and get in now on the future of cryptocurrency. Dash.org.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Core and your Bitcoin Cash. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free here and bring up what you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. We've got a Discord. You can go to discord.lrn.fm. You can interact with other listeners there. And if you want, you can be our guinea pig for the Discord call-in option here tonight on the live Saturday edition of the program. Also coming up in, I guess, a few days, January 17th and 18th. This is coming up fast. The North American Bitcoin Conference is happening right around the corner, where more than 1,000 Bitcoin community members will be converging for a monumental conference that's aimed at driving cryptocurrency from niche to mainstream. Now, I know that one of our co-hosts during the week on both Free Talk Live and your show, Will, The Call to Freedom, Mike is going to be going down there to the North American Bitcoin Conference.
Yes.
The 6th annual, by the way. It's going to be a big conference. You can learn more about it and get your tickets at btcmiami.com. Now, I know our co-host Mark Edge has attended this in the past. Mark, are you planning on making it out there this year, or are you stuck down in Hawaii?
I'll be out there this year. I'm emceeing one of the rooms.
Nice. Okay, so he is going. People were asking if Free Talk Live was going to be there, and I said, well, we're probably not broadcasting, but Mark might be attending. But then we found out today that you were, I guess you're vacationing with the family down in Hawaii, and there was some sort of a cruise missile threat today?
Ballistic missile.
Yeah, basically everybody got this notification on their cell phone through the cell tower that said that there was an incoming missile threat and that this was not a drill. So
oh dear,
we're supposed to be debarking from the boat at this time, and the boat had really just begun. Ship. They're adamant about that. The ship was, and we had just begun debarking, but I mean all the passengers. Mm-hmm. We hadn't even left our room, and it got rather scary there for a minute. I sort of decided to take the moment to think about it, and then moved the family to the center of the boat, so there was as many layers of steel as possible between them and whatever might have happened. And I watched, a display of humanity that was less than orderly.
I bet.
So people were freaking out.
Yeah, and I was going to say, here's exactly what the alert said. Keep in mind, this went over pretty much everybody's cell phone.
Is this one of those presidential alert things where you can't turn this crap off?
It's managed by local emergency management and the FCC and
because some of them you can turn off.
Oh yeah.
Others you can't.
You probably can, but how many people go into the settings of their phones? But this is what it it said: ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
it's not a Trump tweeted something nasty about North Korea. You might want to watch your suitcase. This one's a little different.
So what was the situation like there, Mark? I mean, how were the other passengers reacting?
Some were calm, and some were just freaking out. People, in some cases, were running, and they were being turned away on the gangplank. Couldn't get off the boat, that kind of thing.
I can imagine.
Well, where are you going to run to exactly? I mean, it's not like the first of all, you don't know what the missile's going to do, how big of a missile this thing is. Sure. You don't know where it's targeting. Is it going to be anywhere near the boat? Are they targeting the boat? Probably not.
Well,
but,
ballistic missiles, nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles, you can be sort of close and still be
a nuclear tip
still be
thing?
effective. Well, that's what North Korea's been working on developing and what they've been threatening. So, yeah, you talk about a nuclear missile. If you're off by a mile, you're still going to have a bad day.
Okay.
I'm sorry, though. You know, like, I literally was just reading the story a week ago that North Korea accidentally shot themselves with a ballistic missile.
They did.
You know, so
wait, are all ballistic missiles nuclear tipped?
No, this was a test.
Okay.
They did a test, and they showed that they're testing that they weren't very good at this. And they basically bombed a little town about 8 miles outside of Pyongyang. Yes, they blew up this. Some guy on the internet went to Google Maps and found the crater.
Sure.
Where they bombed. Like, I'm sorry if I see a thing that says missiles coming from North Korea and I'm in Hawaii, or if I'm in anywhere but North Korea, I'm not really that worried.
I tend to agree with you on that. I mean, having seen, I realize they have had some supposedly successful test launches within the last year.
Yeah, but 2,500 miles. I mean, when you're able to launch something off the ground up into space, you've achieved something. You haven't demonstrated accuracy, but you've demonstrated range.
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
I don't know that they said that the missile was coming from North Korea. I mean, that would certainly
say that.
Came up into my mind. So, this could just as easily have been a Russian missile for all we know. I didn't expect that. But when you have this system in place, this early warning system, and you're aware it's happening, you begin to feel the very realness of it. Yeah, I thought something was coming in.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
But you really can't do anything about it except for what you did, right? You went inside the ship. You went in as deep into as you could into the center of the ship, and then all you can really do is sit there and wait. At that point,
I'm either going to die or I'm not, and my family's either going to be protected by my action or it's not. I can only take the best, most appropriate action, and that's what we did. I formulated the best plan I had. I figured the boat wouldn't sink, and if it did, it would probably wouldn't sink all the way. So, that's the best plan I could come up with for my location and time.
Now, has everybody calmed down at this point, since it was apparently a false alarm? Has there been an explanation, by the way? Just sort of asking the room here. Yeah. Has there been an explanation as to, did somebody hit the wrong button at the center?
Pretty much it was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Nobody knows exactly how it occurred. At least I haven't read anything. Yeah, big time.
We totally just made an entire state worth of people feel like nuclear apocalypse was coming.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, success.
Pay your taxes.
Right. Yeah. Pay your taxes.
We're here protecting you.
Pay your taxes.
All right. So anything else you want to share from your experience, Mark?
Nope. I think that's it.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for the call tonight. Have a safe rest of your trip out there in Hawaii from the behind the flowered curtain, as it has been called in the past. Thank you for the call tonight.
It's a darn nice curtain, I'll tell you that.
No doubt. Nice. No doubt about it. Enjoy it. All right, and that's what one of our listeners actually called it. We used to have an affiliate in Maui back in the day, and there was a guy called in and said we call it the flowered curtain down there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Because it's really a very socialist, very big government kind of place, according to the I've never been there personally, but that's according to the people who live there.
It's a militarily occupied. It's America's Palestine, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they took it militarily, and then they voted.
It's America's Palestine.
They let the military vote.
They don't want us there. If you speak to most native Hawaiians, there's like an entire movement. Yeah, they don't want the Americans there. And since we've got there, we've basically turned their culture into crystal meth heads.
Well, that's the one side of it. The other side of it is it's very big government. They love the welfare state, and there's and you can kind of go down the list of what are traditionally more right-leaning points of view, like freedom to carry guns and stuff like that. They're against that, but boy, they love their welfare programs.
So again, that's where the whole flowered curtain thing comes from. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We got more on the minimum wage coming up here. It's destroyed the $5 footlong apparently in Seattle. Your comments on the minimum wage, certainly welcome. Free Talk Live.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring Simon to the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. It is the live Saturday edition of the program, whether it be the Missile scare in Hawaii, the sex offender registry, which we haven't gotten to yet, but hopefully we will later on tonight, or the minimum wage in Seattle. The minimum wage, now up to $13 an hour, has destroyed the ability to have a $5 footlong. You just can't get it. And one of the Subway franchisees has posted a note on the front door explaining why. That is, and that's because of all the government regulations, both federal and now the Seattle regulation in the form of the new minimum wage there, which is expected to raise again, apparently, to $15 an hour.
You bet.
At some point. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but it's coming at some point. And with you in the studio tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Will.
I've decided that for experimental purposes here tonight, we're going to be going Discord only, because Skype, it has this issue where, and it's, I guess it's a feature to some extent, but in our case it's not. When somebody calls in on Skype, it dips down the audio levels of everything else that is playing on the computer on that same audio card.
Right.
And so since Skype and Discord are sharing the same audio card, if somebody's on hold on Skype, the Discord levels drop. And we've actually got somebody in the Discord call-in room, so I want to make sure that we can hear that person when we get to it. If you want to check out the new LRN.FM Discord, you can do that at discord.lrn.fm. But let's go to your phone calls here first. Folks are on the topic of the minimum wage. Larry's in Indianapolis listening to WIBC-FM. Hello, Larry.
Hi, Mark and Ann.
Mark is not here, but Chris and Will are joining me.
Chris and Will and Mark. Hey. Listen,
Mark's in Hawaii.
They can't have a $6 sandwich at Subway, then it never existed to begin with.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it never existed because they weren't paying. They didn't charge enough for their product in the first place. I mean, if you have a corporation, right, that moves into a certain area, they have to abide by the regulations. But
or else men with guns will come in and shut them down and arrest them. Yep, that's true.
Well, that's a good
freedom.
thing, because they're
protecting
the stability. They're protecting the stability of their community by making.
What is stable about men with guns coming into a business establishment and putting people in handcuffs? How is that stability?
Well, why would you set up a business that you can't afford to operate?
But here's
why would you come in?
I don't know why anyone would open a business in a place like Seattle, but there's a lot of money there, so I imagine that's what the attraction is.
Because now, when you hear people talking about we need to get the regulations and the taxes out of the way of big business, that's corporations. The big business and corporation is coming to the feeding trough, taking money out of our pockets in the form of tax abatements and incentive packages to lord over us and pay no taxes whatsoever. So I think your whole premise is really flawed.
Okay, let me give you a different premise then. How about the very small business? How about, like my girlfriend and I run a very, very, very small shop. And one of the reasons that my girlfriend and I do that, and we put in our 50, 60 hours a week, is so we don't have to hire employees, because we know that the cost of that would drive us out of business.
I'll go you one.
So you can't afford to do it.
No, I can't afford to do it. I can make a decision to do that.
Be satisfied.
Do you like it when people?
Where you at now?
Do you like when people like big corporations fix prices?
Well, listen, if they fix prices and put you out of business, you really don't have a business.
No, I'm talking about your business. What if a bunch of big businesses decide that, you know what, we think we can sell this particular product for this amount of money, so we're all going to get together and we're going to make the price this amount? They
can syndicate. That's right. In business, you can't syndicate against your competition. No. That's all a part of doing business. What do you want, the government to carve out a niche for you?
No, I want the government out of my business. I want the government out of the business of telling me what labor is worth. I don't want government telling me that I have to pay more for a hotel room because it feels that somebody who makes a bed and cleans a bathroom needs to be paid $15 an hour. I have a real problem with that.
I'm glad that we have a government here to sustain a minimum wage so people like you can't get off with hiring slave labor.
Oh, my God. The only thing that would happen is we'd have higher employment. You'd have higher employment. You'd have higher employment of younger people. And you would end up with people actually being able to get that initial job to get experience. I don't know where you're coming from. I feel very sorry for your whatever
Larry,
got you in this position.
Larry, do you understand slavery is something that people do without consent, right?
That's what you want somebody to work for, not enough to support themselves.
I used to make $2 an hour.
Why would somebody want to work if it wasn't going to support them? Why would somebody go and take a job that wasn't going to help them?
Because the government would step in and pay your share so that the wage would come up through
the government doesn't step in and pay extra to
the government does that. What the government does is make certain jobs illegal. If a job doesn't pay enough, then that job is no longer a legal job. So
there you go, and that's the way it should be.
No,
that's
not the way it should be in a free market.
You now are
slave masters out of the picture.
You're putting people out of business. You're putting people out of jobs.
You don't have a business. If you can't afford to be in business, you don't have a business.
Well, what about
understand that?
Well, let me take it a step further. Then let's take businesses out of there. What about a community center like what I run? And now we are being held over the barrel by the city for thousands of dollars. They want more licensure. They want more special sinks and special this and special that, just so you can hand a cup of hot coffee. Just to hand a cup of hot coffee for free. We're not charging people to come in and warm up. We're not charging people to print these resumes out. But the state, using the same yes, I am working for nothing. I'm a volunteer.
No, nobody works for nothing.
I'm a volunteer. That's what I do. That's what I do.
You need to face reality. You're either collecting information or you're doing something.
Larry, you are speaking with an imam of the Malik Center here, which is a mosque.
It doesn't make any difference. He's an imam because he's believing in some flawed religion that really he has not researched. He's not doing any charity to anybody. He's collecting
you just don't even know what you're talking about. Thank you for the call tonight. I'm just going to let you go, okay? Because you're just living in your own little fantasy world.
Yeah, I wanted to hear more.
No, I've had enough of that. We've got other people that want to comment. The toll-free number here tonight is 855-450-FREE like freedom. You're living in your own little fantasy world where you think you can mold the world to your liking by using the force of government, and that's going to make things better. And the fact is, it doesn't make things better. Forcing people to pay a certain minimum wage, it may feel good from the outside looking in. It's like, those people are getting that's great. They can take care of things better now. And, well, no, what you're doing is you're eliminating potential jobs from people who would be willing to take them. Maybe a very low-skill worker, somebody who just doesn't have a whole lot of time that they can work, somebody who's newly entering the job market, somebody who's willing to work for less for whatever reason. Maybe they want to train on the job and get paid a training wage, which is lower than the normal wage on that job. Why shouldn't people be free to make decisions? Why shouldn't a business owner and an employee be free to come up with an agreement with one another? Because that's what we're talking about here, not slavery.
Right.
Slavery is where you force somebody to work for you, when you force people to do things against their will, and that's what the government is doing to business owners.
Well, I saw in Florida where lowest end of the rung in the economic ladder, people who work in the service industry, food industry, immediately after the crash, there was this push because all of these people left the construction industry and flooded into the service industry. Suddenly they were like, well, service industry jobs don't pay enough. We want the government to make them pay us more. And all of a sudden what happens? They get a $4.25 or $4.50 minimum wage for servers. They double the server.
Up from like 3 or 2 or something like that?
$2.12 or something like that. They double the service minimum wage. And then now all of those service jobs that people who had lost construction work because of the crash had flooded into, now not only were those jobs all gone, but you could drive down Colonial Drive in Orlando and every mom and pop's local, not the big corporations that everybody's so hateful about. No, the local mom and pops were all boarded up.
Yeah, I think it's also ironic when people like Larry turn, they don't like corporations. I don't either. But then they turn to the biggest, most evil corporation in the entire world, the U.S. government or your local government. Those are corporations too, by the way. They're the ones who create the corporations. 855-450-FREE.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can dial toll-free to join us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. We've also got a Discord chat now. That started this week, kind of midweek. I think we're in like day number 4 of that, with now 75 people that have joined in the last few days.
That's great.
Pretty impressive. People have been wanting this, I guess, and so there it is. You can chat with other Free Talk Live listeners and some of the hosts of the show in there, and we did just create AMP-only groups for Discord. We'll tell you about that coming up here in a moment. So our toll-free number, again, 855-450-FREE like freedom. We're talking about the minimum wage in Seattle specifically because it's the example of the highest minimum wage in the country. So it should be pretty easy to find some of the fallout from the minimum wages increase, which, as we've discussed many times in the past, there's all kinds of economic fallout that comes from forcing people to pay over what they would normally be paying them in the marketplace.
So you look at things so negatively, Ian. You're looking for fallout. What I'm looking for is for this Seattle experiment to be the demonstration of how socialism really works and how government control and central planning can deliver on itself.
But we've seen so many times how it fails.
I know, but I'm giving them this opportunity to prove it to me.
Right, and every time the minimum wage is raised, people lose their jobs. I mean, this is something that's been studied for a long time.
I know, but this time they say it's going to be different.
But my sociology professor told me that you dirty libertarian capitalists are all lying so you can just hoard the money for yourselves.
Right.
We're going to get back to your phone calls and thoughts here, but I do want to let you know about Liberty stickers. If you want to reach people with the ideas of freedom, you can do it from the back of your car and reach thousands of people with a Liberty sticker, and you can get a bunch of them over at libertystickers.com. It's a vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages at libertystickers.com. Plus, they can also do your stickers. Maybe you got a company or an event or, some kind of a group that you want to make a bumper sticker for. They do a great job of it over at libertystickers.com. If you're curious as to what the quality's like, here's how you can get a free sticker from them. It just has to be a Free Talk Live or LRN.FM sticker. You go to promote.freetalklive.com or promote.lrn.fm. The same address is there. You send a self-addressed stamped envelope to that address indicating which stickers you'd like, and I'll send you either one or both to you.
Nice.
And you can put that on whatever you want, and you can see the quality of the Liberty stickers. LibertyStickers.com.
Liberty stickers are awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah, let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. Here we've got Bob in Indianapolis. Listening to WIBC-FM. Hello, Bob.
Hey, I really appreciate it, you guys.
Yes, sir.
For having this show and letting people express their opinions.
You got it, man. Thanks. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Nobody agrees on what color the sky is, but here it goes.
All right.
I want to remind everybody that the minimum wage started in the 1930s. How long ago is that? 80-some years ago?
It's a long time. Yep.
Oh, it's up to $7.25 an hour. Oh, $7.25 an hour after 80 years? Oh, you poor capitalist pigs. You poor corporations. You poor businessmen that have been making record profits. Sitting on record
That's kind of how your record profits looking over there, Chris.
Sitting on your money while everybody's out there. Everybody else got here starving to death.
It's a little uncomfortable sitting
now, Bob, you know you're talking with a business
what's it say
owner.
in the Constitution? Promote the general welfare.
By stealing?
Provide for the common good. That's the definition of socialism. It's in the Constitution.
No.
Promote the general welfare.
So what you're saying
Provide
is...
for the common good.
Now, are you just going to shout? Or
we got a Berniac on.
Economy.
Welcome to
Can we have a conversation, please? I would really like that. I'm going to have to put him on hold just because the constant shouting is not good for, talk radio. Having a, productive conversation, even if not everyone agrees, being able to go back and forth and air, opinions. I mean, he's shouting at you, Chris, as though you're some sort of a tycoon from the 1800s, lording over your slaves in your shop, your sweatshop, with a whip. And taskmasters.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not on our video feed...
he hung up, by the way.
Yeah, if you're not on our video feed, I look exactly like the Monopoly guy.
You've got a big cigar that's hanging out of your mouth right now.
Which I just lit with a $100 bill.
You've got a monocle.
Yep, monocle, a big top hat. Very dapper.
What's funny to me is I've just about bet dollars to pesos, and I wish the guy would call back just to answer the question. I bet he supports the Federal Reserve. Because the Federal Reserve is supposed to protect us all in quantitative easing and Paul Krugman and liberal lefty, wonderful broken window theory and all this sort of thing.
I don't know if you know about it.
The money, he's like, $7.25. Well, you know what? In all honesty, the $1.25 an hour in quarters that you would have got for minimum wage in the 60s is worth more than the $7.25 an hour that you make in worthless paper fiat. I mean, 1964 quarters is worth almost $20.
Yeah.
It's worth more than the $15 an hour that the left is begging for. But they don't want to stop and take a look and see that maybe they're pushing and begging and constantly arguing in favor of centralization is what's actually causing these problems to start with.
Well, and the other thing he brought up, and I'm probably the most constitutionally minded co-host here. I probably talk about it more than anybody else, and it's not me saying that the Constitution is the solution because it obviously hasn't worked.
Well, that guy was right. I mean, he is saying that the government is a socialist government, and that's what they're...
Yeah, no argument there. Yeah. But he keeps bringing up, he brought up several times the general, one of the general clauses,
welfare.
Which is, for the general welfare of the country. And it's interesting to read from that period and, read what Jefferson said about that and what Madison said about that and even what Hamilton said about that these guys were... It was understood what it meant at that time, which was just to keep the country more or less safe. But it had nothing to do with welfare, and it wasn't just a blank check given to government to do whatever program they wanted. And there was real debate about whether those needed to be struck and something more tightly worded needed to be put in there for that.
There were founders who made it very clear that they thought it was a danger in the future for that part of the Constitution to be mistranslated to mean allow the people to vote themselves gifts from the state coffers.
I want to get back to more of your calls and thoughts here. We have Rock in Chesapeake, Virginia, listening to WNIS. Go ahead, Rock.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome.
I'm listening to your radio show tonight.
Yes, sir.
Some of your callers, like that last guy and the guy before, and really kind of burned me up, man. I'm going to tell you why.
Please.
I'm blue collar, and I've always worked. I've always worked with my hands, and I started out 15 years old. I worked for a guy named Jack Cameron at a farmer's market, and I wasn't making much above $7 an hour because I had no skills, no education. I couldn't do anything. I could push a broom, and I could pick heavy loads up, and I could sort things, but I couldn't do anything to gain a bigger check. And then I got out of high school, and I went in the Navy, got on the GI Bill, and I didn't go the college route. I went the trade school route, and I went the apprenticeship route. And the first couple of years of apprenticeship was rough because I wasn't making any money, but I stuck with it. And I'm not going to tell you how much I make, but now I'm above $20 an hour, and I'm a licensed electrician. And every 2 years, I got to go do continuing education courses. So I pay the government $100 to renew my license. That's all it is. You're giving the money to the government, so you're able to keep your license. That's how they do in Virginia.
It's called a protection racket.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Them callers that call like that, I wouldn't have them as apprentices, and I'm going to tell you why. They sound like they don't want to work. They sound like they don't want to put the effort in. It's like they want money to fall out of the sky. And if they think socialism is so great, I'm not an educated man, but it didn't work. Now, they call it communism, and if you ever read anything about communism, they've never achieved communism. All they've ever had was socialism. It didn't work in Russia. It didn't work in Cuba. It's not working in Venezuela.
Nope.
It's not working in North Korea. It didn't work. I just don't get it. And I want to tell you, I don't know what it's going to come down to, but I think eventually we're going to split.
Yes.
As a country, and it's going to be one side versus the other side.
I hope it's a multiple fractured split where all the people who want socialism can move to California, all the people who want ultra right-wing theocracy can move to Texas, and everybody who wants to be free can live in New Hampshire. I think that'd be great.
Or wherever they say.
If let me tell you, I'll get off the line here, but if they go to California, I'm okay with that because California doesn't have its own source of water. And all the states on our side of the line can now regulate the flow of water, and they can pay us for it.
Rock, it's a great call. Thanks for making it tonight. I really appreciate your input here. And the real insult to people like Rock, who've worked their whole lives to get to where they are, is to have some politician come in and then raise everybody else who's the new starting employees who have no skills right up to their level of pay. Because they're not going to get a concomitant raise once that minimum wage comes up. We want to talk about a slap in the face? Hour 2's coming up.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, January 13th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,338 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $59, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,342. Antiwar.com reports President Trump announced he canceled a trip to London this week because it would have coincided with the opening of the new U.S. Embassy to the United Kingdom, an embassy he opposes and for which he blamed President Obama. Trump complained the old embassy was better and that Obama moved it to an off location and sold the old one for peanuts. He said it was a bad deal and he would not cut the ribbon on the new building. In reality, President Bush started the embassy move supposedly for security reasons, with State Department people saying upgrades to the old site would cost too much, even though it was in a much fancier area. The White House followed this up with a statement denying the trip was canceled, despite President Trump explicitly saying, "I canceled my trip to London." The White House insisted he accepted the idea of visiting in a future date. British officials insisted that President Trump remains welcome to visit at some point in the future, while London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, said it was a relief that Trump was not coming and that he does not consider Trump particularly welcome.
Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io.
UPI reports Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos announced Friday he will support students protected under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program with $33 million in scholarships. Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie's donation will fund 1,000 scholarships since the program's streamers are not eligible for federal financial aid. Jeff Bezos said, "My dad came to the U.S. when he was 16 as part of Operation Pedro Pan. He landed in the country alone and unable to speak English. With a lot of grit and determination and the help of some remarkable organizations in Delaware, my dad became an outstanding citizen, and he continues to give back to the country that he feels blessed him in so many ways. Mackenzie and I are honored to be able to help today's dreamers by funding these scholarships." The organization Bezos donated to, thedream.us, partners with low-cost colleges in 15 states to help 800,000 DACA recipients pay for college. Candy Marshall, president of thedream.us, said, "Our students are highly motivated and determined to succeed in college college and in life. We're a 3.5-year-old program, so we don't have graduation rates. Other donors to the initiative include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Pershing Square Foundation, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Robin Hood Foundation, the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the PepsiCo Foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation, and Don, Bill, and Steve Graham. Marshall added, everyone who believes in education and is a friend of the Dreamers would like to thank Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos for this magnificent gift. It's a shot in the arm for Dreamer students at a time when some are questioning whether they should be in the United States at all. Bezos and 100 other business leaders co-signed a letter to Congress last week calling for legal relief for DACA members after President Trump announced his administration would end the program.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports rescue crews expanded their search on Friday for 5 missing people as death tolls rose to 18 from mudslides in Southern California that damaged hundreds of buildings and caked highways with sludge. The California Governor's Office of Emergency Services said about 1,250 emergency workers raced against the clock to find survivors with drones, heavy equipment, and sniffer dogs in rescue and cleanup efforts. Santa Barbara County Fire Department spokesman Mike Eliason said, "We've got a window that's closing, but we're still very optimistic. There's been plenty of cases where they found people a week after." Officials said secondary searches of damaged structures were underway. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Following reports that local full-blown alcoholic Ken Matheson has such great friends that let him drink himself to death right before their eyes, the 32-year-old man spoke to reporters during a typical evening of binging with his closest friends.
Man, these guys are like brothers to me. I don't know what I'd do without them.
The chemically dependent man, who can reportedly always count on his friends to look the other way, facilitate belligerent behavior, and encourage his self-destructive impulses, informed reporters that the members of his tight-knit circle are, quote, the best buddies a guy could ask for.
Can you just shut the f*** up? Seriously. Just shut the f*** up. I lost them. Back in. Keep going. What the f*** are you looking at? I love you, man. I love you.
Check this week's Onion Review for further developments.
I love you. Oh, God, I love everybody.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can join us here toll-free at 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype. Oh, wait, no, we don't. I'm so used to that. I'm so used to saying we have Skype. We're trying something new tonight. We're trying the Discord chat as a way to have people call in over the internet. So I've actually logged out of Skype. If you're trying to call on Skype, that's not going to work. You can connect on Discord, however, going to discord.lrn.fm. That'll jump you right into the Discord app or their online version. You don't have to download the app. There's an online web-based version of it as well. The app's actually pretty nice.
That's going to be so awesome.
I recommend it.
When we're on Call to Freedom with all the crypto rooms on Discord and all those guys wanting to talk to all these developers and stuff that we've got on. Now they don't have to leave Discord. They don't have to give their name. They can go by their screen names.
And it's not Microsoft. I don't know who owns Discord, but I don't think it's Microsoft yet. At this point.
Right.
By the way, you can bring up anything you want, although most of the people calling in so far have been all about this topic we've been discussing, the minimum wage in Seattle and how it is destroying the $5 footlong and more, of course. It's also destroying jobs because businesses that can't afford to pay the minimum wage have to figure out ways to come up with a way to do it or shut their doors. And one of the ways that they can make it work is by firing people and giving the other employees more responsibilities.
You poor people, we're going to help you by raising the wage.
Raising the wage?
Raising the wage so that your employer can no longer afford to employ you. you.
Yeah, that's a really
then
big help.
you won't have a job, and you'll be on welfare, so you'll be making more money than you would have on minimum wage.
Let's go to your calls. Your thoughts. Rebecca's in Kansas, listening to KINA in Salina. Hey, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you guys tonight?
Great, thanks for calling. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Good. I'd like to make 3 points if I can.
Yes.
The first being that, when we talk about minimum wage and what people are worth and their value and so on and so forth, really I look at it as this. How many people can do the job that you're doing? And when you talk about an elite football player, how many people can do that job or fill those shoes? Maybe they're overpaid. Personally, I think so. But how many could do what they do? A physician, a doctor,
right.
And then you go down to where you're doing jobs that are not requiring a lot of skill, and that's not to defame that job. That doesn't mean it's not important.
Right.
It means that there is a ready line of people that could do that job without a lot of training or a lot of expertise or a lot of time.
Right.
And that means that skill, it doesn't demand a lot, so it's a good entry level. But I think it's very important for people to, I don't want to bash those guys that were calling in and were upset. I couldn't make it on minimum wage.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make it at $15 an hour.
It's worth pointing out here that that as far as people receiving the minimum wage, the vast majority of heads of household are not, like super majority of heads of household are not receiving the minimum wage. The minimum wage is generally received by low-skill, entry-level workforce workers like teenagers.
Yeah.
Right. No, exactly right. And so we're talking about a lot of times a red herring, but I think sometimes people can actually identify with, well, how many people could step up and do what I do? Well, there may be an entire population that could. How many people could step up and do another job, such as a doctor or something that's very specific? Well, they get paid more for that reason. That's not many people that can do that.
Well, the problem here is you're arguing economics to people that don't want to understand economics.
Exactly.
They want to understand feelings.
Right. There's nothing wrong with having feelings. It's just that what about feelings for the business owners? Those are human beings, too, with families to feed, and they put a lot of money and time and effort into running their business.
And risk.
And risk. As you pointed out, Chris, you can't afford to hire somebody at the current wage rate that you would have to hire them because you're barely, making ends meet. It's hard to start a business from nothing.
And even if we could, I mean, there are ways we could work it so we could bring an employee on, but why? Why would I burden myself? Hopefully in another year or so we'll do that.
I mean, you told me
I'm going to avoid it.
The wintertime numbers at that store are not good.
This is our famine stage.
There are days when you would take a large loss every single day if you had an employee on.
Absolutely.
Because whether if things don't sell, you're selling, for listeners that are just tuning in, you run Route 101 Local Goods. It's a little locally sourced goods store. It's got cute little items that, people are making at their home or whatever in New Hampshire. And so there's some days when it's wintertime, there's just not much traffic coming into the store. It's like the other months have to kind of sustain the wintertime months to some extent. You're not selling sheds, which is normally something that you guys sell, and that's a big inventory item. People aren't taking the time to look at the sheds because they don't want to get out of their car. It's 30 degrees or less, and so that does lower the foot traffic. But the employees, that doesn't matter to them. They want to get $10 an hour or whatever their per hour rate is, and they have to, whether you sell stuff or not.
Or they want to be able to stay at work, because if there's no sales going on, especially if you work in the service industry,
you get cut.
You get cut.
Right.
They send you home, and if you're not at work, then guess what? You don't get paid.
Right. And what we would end up doing would be hiring seasonally. That's the only thing that would ever make any sense. And there would always be those months when it just doesn't pay. And I wish we were still in that time where, the footprint of government was so small that we could afford to do more like that. That's what it comes down to.
Well, yeah, like the guy, the home. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Rebecca.
Please.
Go ahead, please.
I can tell you the second point is I just sold a business that I've run for 40 years. I'm old. And and as you're pointing out, an employee never understands because they don't walk in your shoes. but I never thought poorly of my employees because they didn't understand. We did our best to try to relay to all the employees when times were really rough why we couldn't maybe do raises right then,
Right.
so on and
Why
so
there's no
forth.
Christmas
But
bonus this year.
It's
you know?
for the first time in 40 years since we sold our business, because that entire time we're in agriculture, everything we owned, our business, our personal home, and all our vehicles, which some businesses aren't that way, but in ag it very commonly is.
Right.
Everything we had was under a blanket by the bank. So if we went under, I lost the roof over my kids' heads.
Right.
I lost our savings. We lost our vehicles. So the gut-wrenching experience of what happens if we go down was not only these people have worked for me for a long time, but how do I feed my kids, and so on and so forth. And you can't pass that on to somebody, how difficult that is. But I do think to employees it's very important to sit down and try to always encompass them as part of the business, that they took care of me. The employee takes care of me so that I can take care of them.
Right.
You know, the business won't run without them, but to expect them to ever have that mindset that you do is very difficult,
No, they
which
can't.
leads to my third point,
Okay.
is the opportunity level. And opportunity is a very, very vague word. And two of the guys that were kind of hostile talking to you, most people think it's, well, I never got a chance to own a business. I never had a dad that started me in business. I never had a chance at a college education. I never had a chance for somebody to mentor me. Most of it comes from, I had a mom my mother was poor, but she always looked at us and said, your only excuse in life is when you get in your own way. And I don't say that to belittle others. I'm saying how important that is to the basic fabric of the people in this country.
Well,
That's what made it so different.
And one thing's for sure about opportunity is if the government is standing in the way, then your opportunities are much lower than what they would otherwise be. Now, certainly the way, and thank you so much for the call tonight and your perspective,
thanks.
Rebecca. I
Can
appreciate it.
Can I take the third point real quick?
Oh, I thought you'd finished it. Go ahead, quickly.
The third point is that's exactly what happens with what the government is doing, because it displaces the responsibility of the individual to look at themselves and say, what can I do for that employer that makes me critical to this job? And that they will pay me more because they don't want to lose me. But instead, when the government comes in, it displaces that person saying to themselves, what can I do? And they look at the government and say, hey,
what can you get for me? Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call, Rebecca. I do appreciate it. There's more coming up here in moments on Free Talk Live, and you can join us on the radio.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids. Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. 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 I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1. Share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com. Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment walking down the street to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. We're talking about the minimum wage and the economic damage that it does. It's being experienced out in Seattle right now with them having the highest minimum wage in the country. Of course, as is typical with raises in the minimum wage, people are losing their jobs, businesses are going under, or they're having to post explanations. Which we saw recently. Actually, we talked about the Seattle soda tax recently here on Free Talk Live, where businesses that are selling sodas are putting up signage letting people know, hey, the reason why your 2-liter bottle is now $3.15 instead of $2 is because of this new soda tax. And they're letting people know. And similarly, a business owner of one of the Subway franchisees, he put up a notice letting people know, sorry, we just can't afford to participate in the $5 footlong. And by the way, some of the other Subway franchisees had written a complaint to Subway. There was another story about Subway recently within the last few months where a bunch of franchisees wrote a letter to corporate saying, this is getting too hard. We just can't.
Right. Margins too thin.
Right. We can't barely afford to do this anymore. You know, I don't know if some of them are losing money on it just as a promotion to get people through the doors, but they don't want to participate in it anymore because as much as we want to keep costs down and all that, because of inflation, a lot of costs go up consistently.
Sure. Food costs don't change just because you decided that we need to run some big promotional campaign.
Right.
Labor costs don't suddenly go down. The city of Seattle doesn't write me a little thing that lets me be an exemption notice just because you guys put out your $5 footlongs.
Exactly. Well, and more to the point, the dollar that you had last year is not worth the dollar this year.
Hence why
because
we like
that
crypto.
And that's inflation. And when when the government decides they're going to print more money to pay for another war or whatever it happens to be, that dilutes the dollars. Purchasing power goes down, and we see that as prices going up.
Tell me one cryptocurrency in your wallet that's worth less this year than it was this time last year. I'll wait.
Couldn't wait. I couldn't name one. But even in the world of crypto, there are a lot of them that are set up for inflation.
Yeah.
You know, some of them don't have a cap. They can coin coins.
Nubits is one.
Yeah. Well,
tethered directly to the dollar, so
the
of
difference
course it's
there,
meant to be inflated.
I mean, even in Bitcoin, the currency inflates over time, but it's a predictable inflation.
Right.
It's not arbitrarily selected by politicians on a whim.
Sure.
It is selected at the beginning of the creation of that currency. In theory, it could be modified with a hard fork post, sort of in the middle of it, but most of them have not done that. They select their rate in advance, and if you don't agree to it, you don't have to get that cryptocurrency. Whereas with the government currency, you are forced to accept it. That's what the legal tender term means. When you look at the dollars, it says this note is legal tender. That means that there are men with guns who will come to your business and force you to take those dollars from people, in theory.
There's a huge difference between 21 million Bitcoins total and let's print 700 million more dollars to pay off the banks because they gambled away all of your savings.
Right. One is arbitrarily
trillions in that case.
Trillions,
yeah. One is an arbitrary political process based on the whims of politicians, and the others is something that is set in programming and is open source. And
but the Federal Reserve is independent and is totally unpolitical.
Right.
Let's continue here with your calls and thoughts. We have Mark in Columbia, South Carolina, listening, I think, to WQXL. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Welcome. Great. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Good. All right. Basically, I just wanted to point out what got me to call, what pushed my button was the gentleman that was yelling at you, calling you capitalist pigs and everything else. But before I get into the Constitution part, he tried to make a claim that for the common welfare and common good, and trying to say in the Constitution was a socialist manifesto, so to speak. That's the impression that I was getting from him with every other yelling word that he was trying to make. I too wish I could have heard what he was trying to say instead of yelling. But anyway, with that being said, I do want to preface my comment by saying that socialism, if America is basically, I feel, is decline, is low, we're going in the wrong direction. I mean, just look at China, for example. China, the only reason that they're becoming a world power and people are experiencing wealth beyond their wildest dreams in that country is because they have adopted capitalist free market policy. They have adopted a free enterprise system, and
at the very least, it's a freer enterprise system.
It's a freer.
The freer they get, the higher up they go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the more they go that direction, and there are people that I mean, but my point is, the more they go in that direction, the more of a powerful and free nation they become.
Yep, that's true.
And the same thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying you're absolutely right about that. And you can look at Hong Kong as a great example because, for a long time, China wasn't in charge of Hong Kong. And then in the late 1990s, they did retake it back from the British rule. But they never touched Hong Kong. They let Hong Kong sort of be this sort of free enterprise zone. And it is, if you look at the rankings, there's a couple different global rankings of all the different countries in the world as far as economic freedom is concerned. Hong Kong crushes the competition. In fact, it's just so easy to open a business and run a business.
U.S.
Including the U.S. is like number 20 or something, or 17 on the list. So it's been falling down the list. Go ahead.
Well, and then those that adopt the full socialism and go on the communist route, I mean, just like Venezuela with the socialism aspect of it and everything else, it strips the person of their individual dignity and. It takes away from the freedom and everything that this country was made of, that everyone loves about this country. And if you adopt a system like that, and to that gentleman that was yelling and everything about the Constitution, I would really urge him to read the Constitution again with different eyes and notice that everything was prefaced with the that freedom and liberty is of the individual is what makes it totally contrary to a socialist platform. But I got to ask that guy for forgiveness. And here's the reason why. I want that guy's forgiveness because I allowed in the education system to start teaching. We have taught our kids, my own daughter, and I looked at she brought me a sheet, a handout,
right.
Like a mimeograph handout or whatever. And it was one of those almost like where you draw a line over to the proper answer.
Okay.
It has a statement. And you draw the line, and it was on capitalism, fascism, totalitarianism, all these different isms. And it said capitalism. I mean, well, one of them was socialism, one was communism, and there was capitalism. And she was trying to draw lines, and she was getting confused. And so she one of the socialism line. The correct answer was a fair and equitable distribution of wealth. Okay. The communism says a government of it said an individual system and then it said a government mandated system.
Oh my God!
Equitable distribution, and then under capitalism, an unfair and unequal.
Get your kids
out of
these government schools. Mark, thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate it. More coming up here. If you want to protect your kids from this propaganda, you got to get them out of the government schools. It's Free Talk Live. More coming up.
You've seen crazy diets to lose weight. At GCN Team, our healthy body weight loss system simply neutralizes the body, bringing down cravings. It has been proven that nutritional deficiencies drive appetite for carbs, sugars, and fats. Lose weight the easy way. Find us at GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Fighting cravings is a fool's game. Give the body what it needs to be satisfied. Again, 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat, all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. It's the live Saturday edition of the program. As always, you're invited here to join us toll-free at 855-450, free like freedom, 855-450-3733. Lots of participation here tonight. With you in the studio, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Will.
A lot of people have opinions about the minimum wage, and we're going to continue with that discussion, but I do want to let you know about Anarchapulco, where they're going to be making anarchy great again with great speakers like Ron Paul for the first time ever. He'll be speaking at Anarchapulco this year. That's coming up in just over a month. We're talking about February 15th through the 18th. It's happening at the Princess Resort in Acapulco, Mexico. A very beautiful location. Of course, great time of the year to be down in Mexico if you're coming from one of the cold states like we are here. There's also going to be other great speakers, not just Ron Paul, but also G. Edward Griffin, Jeffrey Tucker, Roger Veer, Larkin Rose, Jeff Berwick, Bruce Fenton, Brett Venot, Julia Taransky, Dana Martin, Juan Galt, Adam Kokesh, Kerry Wedler, Vit Jedlicka, and Sterling Lujan. You also get live music from Jordan Page, Backwards, Rob Hustle, and more. It's music, it's networking, it's great speeches. It's all happening February 15th through the 18th. You don't want to miss Anarchapulco if you can afford to get down there. That's anarchapulco.com, and use code FTL on their website to get 10% off the regular ticket price. That doesn't get you 10% off the other events that are scheduled for that time frame. There's other things happening that are sort of related to the event, like their Health and Wellness Retreat, Change Media University with Luke Radowski, and more. You can get all the details over at anarchapulco.com. We'll look forward to seeing you there because Free Talk Live will be broadcasting from the event as we did in 2017. So let's continue with your calls and thoughts here. Michael is in Virginia Beach, Virginia. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Michael.
Hello, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I tuned in at 7:30 Eastern Time, and I got to hear Larry make his arguments before you hung up on him. And I'd just like to suggest here that I thought he was the most interesting caller that I've heard on the radio in quite a few months. On any station, and I think he would be very good for your show. I think he caused a lot of people to tune in who want to hear a healthy, solid debate.
Well, that wasn't much of a debate. He kept on talking. He wasn't the screamer. The guy that was screaming came after Larry. Larry's actually he's actually called this show for a long time. We've had Larry on countless times over more than a decade, I would say, at this point. He's been listening in Indianapolis since we were on WXNT, which is a much smaller station than that we're on now. We're on WIBC. In fact, XNT isn't even a talk radio station anymore. But that's how far Larry goes back. So, yeah, he's not unfamiliar with the show. We had him on for the bulk of the segment. So here you are now. What are your opinions?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would do. If you can get a hold of Larry, I would be very much interested in putting together a sponsorship group to put him on your show. We'll pay for it.
No, it doesn't work that way. We don't have callers buy their way on the air here on Free Talk Live. I mean, it's an interesting idea, and I'm sure there are some talk shows that would do it. I bet maybe you would, Will, on the Call to Freedom. Would a caller buy their way into their to your show?
What do you mean buy their way in?
He just said they want to put together. He wants to put together a group to sponsor
GoFundMe to get Larry on.
Larry to come on to Free Talk Live, and I said, it just doesn't work that way.
You'd have to pay. Okay, well, I pay my co-hosts. I pay all my co-hosts.
Yeah.
And basically,
you're here for free tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. You would have to pay him what I pay him or more, and that
Wait,
would
you'd
have
to
be
pay who?
Larry. They would have to raise enough money to pay him.
No, they want to pay to put Larry on the air. You want to pay the host. You want to pay the show, right, Michael? You don't want to pay Larry.
They want to pay me.
Yeah, I want to make sure we're clear on this. I thought that you wanted to pay the hosts of the show. How do you want to pay to get Larry on?
I mean, I don't know if Larry wants to get chewed up by a she-male every 5 nights a week. And that's not me, by the way. That's
Michael?
my co-host.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to say is he is unique. He is strong.
Not really. He sounded a lot like the guy that called right after him. It's just he wasn't as frothing at the mouth and yelling at the top of his lungs like the guy that called after him, but the position was the same.
The guy, I think the guy that called after him was probably angry at the way you treated Larry.
You mean treated Larry by keeping him on for an entire show segment and talking with him?
Yeah.
You know, some people just never get enough time. Thank you for the call, Michael.
Yeah, I was going to ask him. I mean, what resonates? What is he hearing from Larry that he's not hearing in other parts of the media? Because I hear it all the time.
Well, Larry has a left-of-center position on a lot of things.
That's what I'm saying.
In talk radio, you generally get talk show hosts that are right-wingers. Now, this is a libertarian or pro-liberty talk show, so we're not either one of those positions.
Right.
And so that's what he was referring to, I think, is the idea that he heard somebody speaking his language on the radio. Because Michael is also more of a lefty caller. He's called our show a number of times.
I've found with the left that there's like 2 or 3 subjects that if you disagree with them on that subject, you are automatically on the right. And minimum wage is one of those subjects. If you disagree with them on minimum wage, you're on the right. You might as well be Trump. And taxes is another one. Income taxes. If you say the income tax is oppressive, or like if you tell like Linda Sarsauer, hey, when you're out there pushing for income taxes, you realize that that's against your faith. They will just go like, oh, well, I guess you're just Donald Trump, because to them, like, you either agree with them on like these 2 or 3 issues,
healthcare,
or you are literally Hitler.
Right. Yeah, that's where it goes.
I just want to point out that we welcome anybody to call into Free Talk Live. You don't have to agree with us. I prefer callers that don't agree.
Right.
But if we can't have a conversation, then it's not going to last very long. And we did have a long call with Larry compared to the guy who called after him, who was just screaming.
Yeah, had to mute him.
We had a long call with Larry. But Larry was, he kept on talking too, so I had to actually mute him a couple times during the call just so somebody could get a word in edgewise. But I kept bringing him back so we could get his response and hear what he had to say about that. But again, it's one of those things where some people are just never satisfied with how much time they get. And Larry might have been satisfied, but Michael in that case wasn't satisfied.
We get right-wing callers on Call to Freedom that we have to end up just hanging up on them because they act the same way that the guy after Larry acted. They shout. They can't be reasoned with.
When you don't have a position, just talk louder.
Yeah, exactly. Insulting, yelling, accusing people of not acknowledging your position when they've tried to get 3 words out and you won't shut up.
Both sides believe so deeply that theirs is the absolute right moral path.
Yeah.
And that's just how divided this country is and how polarized we all are. Not we. I try not to be polarizing. But people are, and it's just a shame that they can't have a civil conversation. I love those calls when somebody I completely disagree with will just go point, counterpoint, end a call, and nobody probably won in their own mind.
No.
When you take when you take a position that anybody who disagrees with me is either literally Pol Pot or literally Hitler, and libertarians exist in this space where we disagree with the left on the 3 issues that make you literally Hitler, and we disagree with the right on the 3 issues that make you literally Stalin or Lenin, so that it leaves very little room for people like us as libertarians to have opinions without being attacked and maligned and told you believe all of these things that literally are in complete contention with our philosophy.
Yeah, if you got any left-wing callers out there, left to center, call up and complain about the drones or Trump's use of drones and American expansion. imperialism and things like that. We'd love to talk to you about that.
They'd be right about that, but of course they wouldn't have complained about it when Obama did those same things.
Completely the opposite.
Let's go to Wayne. He's on the line in Hampton, Virginia, listening to WNIS. Hey, Wayne. Hello? Uh-oh. Hold on, Wayne. We're having some trouble hearing you. I think there might be some issue. Maybe it's an issue with your phone or an issue at the board operator. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to try you again here in just a moment. We're going to see if we can clear up your line, and I'll have the board op check in with you there in a moment. So we'll continue, hopefully more with Wayne. We'll see what he had to say. Because I know he wanted to change the topic into Bitcoin, something about Bitcoin and taxes, which we're big fans of cryptocurrency here on
the former, not the latter,
on Free Talk Live. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Plus, you can get in our Discord chat at discord.lrn.fm. It's Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
We all have heard about the benefits of fish oils, but what about the presence of heavy metals, PCBs, dioxins, furans, and other contaminants found in fatty tissues of fish? GCNteam.com recognizes this risk and offers IFOS certified tested omega-3 fatty acids. EPA, DHA insist on IFOS omega-3 fatty acid certification. Get the best at GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Saying that he has no idea what to make of the mixed signals, area man Pete Summers told reporters today he keeps getting ambiguous text messages from local woman Haley Mueller, claiming that she's not at all interested in him.
One minute she's like, I don't want to go out with you. And then she'll mention how she has to go hang out with her boyfriend. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that?
Summers, who first met Mueller at a friend's party last month, informed reporters that the 27-year-old's increasingly perplexing text messages have left him unable to ascertain whether or not she would want to date him. He also noted that Mueller's behavior at social gatherings was equally vague.
Last weekend, we were at a party, and every time I would go up to her, she just said, "Leave me alone." Then I text her the next day, and she totally doesn't even respond. I mean, she just needs to make up her mind and tell me what she wants. She hasn't answered my last 3 phone calls, so maybe I should go over there and make sure everything's okay.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. Dial toll-free to join us on the radio. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Will.
Bitcoin.com. Great place to go to learn the basics about what Bitcoin is. You're new to this. It's okay. It's okay. It's not too late. You might tell yourself that, well, $15,000 per Bitcoin, I can't afford that. Well, you can't afford one Bitcoin. That's all right. You can get a fraction of it. Or maybe you want to get the new Bitcoin Cash because it's a lot cheaper to move that around than the old Bitcoin. Who knows? There's a bunch of different options, and Bitcoin.com will tell you more about the basics on it all. So go to Bitcoin.com to get started. And if you're not new to this, if you've been in cryptocurrency for a while and you want to get the latest news headlines, then follow over at news.bitcoin.com. They got them every single day there. That's news.bitcoin.com. As we go back to Wayne, I believe his line has cleared up, according to our board operator. Wayne, are you with us now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear. You're listening to WNIS in Virginia. Go ahead.
Thank you. Look, I've got a question about Bitcoin.
Sure.
Now, they say that eventually it will cap at 21 million Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But who knows how many Bitcoins are in existence if people can use super-duper computers and make their own Bitcoin?
Well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I'll take a shot at it. Yeah, there's a couple things that are written into the Bitcoin code. The first is sort of an adjusting level of difficulty in mining or in creating new Bitcoins. And the second thing is a scheduled halving of the reward. So every 4 years, the reward for solving these complex mathematical problems gets cut in half.
That's the mining reward.
The mining, yes.
So it started at 50 Bitcoins per block that was found by the miners.
Right.
The blocks are the guts of the blockchain, which is the public ledger that is sort of the technology behind Bitcoin. It then went to 25, and it is now at 12.5. So every time a Bitcoin block is found, 12.5 Bitcoins goes to the miner that found that block. And we do know how many Bitcoins there are out there right now. It's easy to count that because it's all accountable. It's all public ledger. So I'm looking right here at coinmarketcap.com, and according to them, there's 16,801,375 Bitcoins in existence right now. And 10 minutes from now, there's going to be another 12.5 added to that.
That's exactly correct.
So you always know how many Bitcoins there are. The thing you don't know exactly is how many of them have been lost. So there's some people who, like, if they lose the keys to their wallet, there ain't no getting there. You don't just call a locksmith up and get new keys. There is no more getting into that wallet if you lose the keys. So there's actually apparently a few million at least Bitcoin estimated that are just lost forever.
By some estimations, 20 to 40% of what's been mined so far has indeed been lost.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's a huge number.
And also don't forget this, because of that halvening that you talked about, where the amounts of the mined Bitcoins halve over time. That means the rate will slow as far as how many of them come out. So it actually is going to take 100 years or more to get to the 21 million mark. So even though we're already at almost 17 million of them, it's going to take a long, long time to reach that final 21 million.
It will happen in 2140. I can tell you that with mathematical certainty.
If Bitcoin still exists then, if people haven't abandoned it or whatever.
Right.
If it hasn't been defeated by
the way it's going now.
Quantum computing or something like that.
Basically, it's inflation that works the opposite of the way it works with our dollar. Instead of it getting faster and more out of control year by year, it slows every
on the
year.
expectation that it's going to be worth more over time. So where 12.5 Bitcoin today is worth a lot more than 50 Bitcoin was in 2009 when it first started, when Bitcoin was worth basically nothing.
That's because the guy who the people, the guy, the girl, the team who designed it actually had some kind of understanding of scarcity and basic economics.
Very much so.
Wayne, did that answer your question?
I've got one more question.
Sure.
Shoot.
And I want to be honest about this. some of the things that I want to buy Bitcoin with, and I've never owned any Bitcoin, some of these things would have trouble getting through customs.
Okay.
Okay.
And when I try to buy these things with my Visa debit card, Wells Fargo has a way of refusing to pay. I guess we're talking about online pharmacies outside the country.
Yep.
And so that's why I have been interested in Bitcoin and still hope to get some. These people, Paxful, they are legitimate, and they offered to sell me $100 worth of Bitcoin, but they wanted to charge me like $136.
Who was it?
Pax?
What was the company?
Pax, Paxful.
Okay, I know what that one is. That's a competitor to Local Bitcoins. It's a much smaller competitor where, like Local Bitcoins, the sellers of the Bitcoins on that site usually will have you go and deposit cash into a bank account that they hopefully own, and then they release the Bitcoins to you once they verify that the cash is in the account. And yes, there are high prices as far as percentages that you will pay on a site like that, but the other side of it is you get more anonymity out of that because you're just dealing with the individual there. You're not getting it from some mega corporation, because on Paxful there are individuals, like on Local Bitcoins, who are the sellers there. And so it's very different from, say, a Coinbase, where there's this central big corporation. So Coinbase will sell you Bitcoin for 1% over the market cost. So you get a decent price from Coinbase, but it's all on the record. If the IRS wants to come and pull their records, they're going to be able to share all that information with you. So that's why you're paying more on a service like a Paxful or a Local Bitcoins.
He could always come to New Hampshire and just run up to Portsmouth at the Bitcoin shop and get it for like 1% over spot price and make a great reason to take a vacation.
101 Local Goods here in Keene, New Hampshire, and buy it here.
Yeah, you can do it here. You will pay more at Route 101 Local Goods. At
because he's one. But I'm going to give him maple candy if he shows up.
Okay.
Personal customer service. And I can tell you, that maple candy is really good. But he's in Hampton, Virginia, so it's probably a bit of a hike to come up here, and it'll probably be a little cheaper to just go and drop some money in somebody's bank account. Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's something that you can't get with a credit card, like what you're talking about, these prescriptions online, but these online prescription places take Bitcoin, and I've heard that this is the case with a bunch of them, then it may be worth it to pay the fee, the fee, whatever the fee is that you have to pay to get the Bitcoin. If this is important to you, it might be worth it to go ahead and just pay the fee. And then, of course, if the Bitcoin goes up in value, then it really doesn't matter.
Right. I think of the savings over what you can pay for the same thing here. You know, that oftentimes that's the case.
If you can even get it, right? Because some of these things you can't get easily here,
right?
And so there's worth it.
I think Uphold.com is a little less invasive than Coinbase, and you can get Bitcoin.
Have you tried
with a credit? Yeah.
You've actually successfully bought Bitcoin with a credit card through?
They're through one of our sponsors, Helium.com. You buy. And then you charge up Bitcoin and Litecoin cards, and then you can send to other wallets if you want to, or you can use it as an investment.
Interesting. So I hope that helps, Wayne.
A little less invasive.
And I thank you for the call tonight, man. And good luck out there. And don't forget to, always reach out to local area Bitcoiners and ask them what they think about the different options that you have as far as how to get Bitcoin. Because sometimes somebody will, if you put out there, hey, I'm looking at this website, somebody else might just be like, whoa, dude, watch out. That's a scam.
Yep.
I think you're going to be all right on Paxful. There's just not as many choices there. And I think that the Paxful guys maybe for the smaller amounts, so maybe that is a good place to go for you. But then again, on Local Bitcoins, there's a lot of people selling smaller amounts there too. So if you want to see a larger selection, Local Bitcoins is probably the way to go, and that's another good way to kind of keep off the records.
You can usually buy between 100 and sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's true. Wayne, thank you for the call tonight, man. Let's go to Kimbler on the line in Myrtle Beach, listening to WRNN. Hello, Kimbler.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, good. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I like the comment that you guys were talking about earlier, going back to the minimum wage.
Sure.
We'll just start from there. You were saying back when people were making $1.25 an hour, And if you cashed in those quarters a day, it'd probably be $25 actually.
He was talking about the silver. Just to be clear, the back before 1964, all coinage that was silvery looking was actually silver. It was 90% silver.
90% silver.
And then they stopped doing that in 1965. And so if you actually had that silver from back then, which was what, $1 or whatever is worth, it's now worth more
about
than
15
that.
to $20. Yeah.
Whereas the dollars are worth less than what they were worth back then. But go ahead, though, with your thoughts.
Exactly, yeah. So what intrigues me now that we're going into the digital market, we're collectors and such. I mean, I think we are going into the digital market as far as that's concerned, instead of paper and metal coins and such like that. So are they planning on that?
I know you had a question about cryptocurrency, so stand by. We can come back to you here in moments, Kimbler. We've got hour number 3 on the way, so still plenty of time for you if you want to join us here on the radio. By the way, speaking of cryptocurrency and the markets there, right now there are over 1,400 cryptocurrencies. It was like 1,300 something earlier this week. There's over $748 billion in value in the markets around the globe. It's amazing. More coming up.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, January 13th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,338 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $59, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,342. Antiwar.com reports President Trump announced he canceled a trip to London this week because it would have coincided with the opening of the new U.S. Embassy to the United Kingdom, an embassy he opposes and for which he blamed President Obama. Trump complained the old embassy was better and that Obama moved it to an off location and sold the old one for peanuts. He said it was a bad deal and he would not cut the ribbon on the new building. In reality, President Bush started the embassy move supposedly for security reasons, with State Department people saying upgrades to the old site would cost too much, even though it was in a much fancier area. The White House followed this up with a statement denying the trip was canceled, despite President Trump explicitly saying, "I canceled my trip to London." The White House insisted he accepted the idea of visiting in a future date. British officials insisted that President Trump remains welcome to visit at some point in the future, while London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, said it was a relief that Trump was not coming and that he does not consider Trump particularly welcome.
Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io.
UPI reports Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos announced Friday he will support students protected under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program with $33 million in scholarships. Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie's donation will fund 1,000 scholarships since the program's streamers are not eligible for federal financial aid. Jeff Bezos said, "My dad came to the U.S. when he was 16 as part of Operation Pedro Pan. He landed in the country alone and unable to speak English. With a lot of grit and determination and the help of some remarkable organizations in Delaware, my dad became an outstanding citizen, and he continues to give back to the country that he feels blessed him in so many ways. Mackenzie and I are honored to be able to help today's dreamers by funding these scholarships." The organization Bezos donated to, thedream.us, partners with low-cost colleges in 15 states to help 800,000 DACA recipients pay for college. Candy Marshall, president of thedream.us, said, "Our students are highly motivated and determined to succeed in college and in life. We're a 3.5-year-old program, so we don't have graduation rates." Other donors to the initiative include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Pershing Square Foundation, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Robin Hood Foundation, the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the PepsiCo Foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation, and Don, Bill, and Steve Graham. Marshall added, "Everyone who believes in education and is a friend of the Dreamers would like to thank Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos for this magnificent gift. It's a shot in the arm for Dreamer students at a time when some are questioning whether they should be in the United States at all." Bezos and 100 other business leaders co-signed a letter to Congress last week calling for legal relief for DACA members after President Trump announced his administration would end the program.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports rescue crews expanded their search on Friday for 5 missing people as death tolls rose to 18 from mudslides in Southern California that damaged hundreds of buildings and caked highways with sludge. The California Governor's Office of Emergency Services said about 1,250 emergency workers raced against the clock to find survivors with drones, heavy equipment, and sniffer dogs in rescue and cleanup efforts. Santa Barbara County Fire Department spokesman Mike Eliason said, "We've got a window that's closing, but we're still very optimistic. There's been plenty of cases where they found people a week after." Officials said secondary searches of damaged structures were underway. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
After years of weekly meetings with his psychologist, local man Chris Vaughn told reporters today he was excited to only have 2 sessions left before completely resolving all of his emotional issues and never having the need to return to another therapy session again.
When I started therapy, I knew if I could make it through exactly 120 50-minute sessions with Dr. Warner, then all of my issues with depression and crippling anxiety would be gone. Next week we're covering my parents. The week after that we're wrapping up my trust issues, and then I should be good to go.
According to Vaughn, it took 40 sessions alone to fully resolve his feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem resulting from an unhappy childhood. Vaughn's therapist, Dr. Susan Warner, told Onion reporters that she's pleased with her patient's progress and relieved that his long-time emotional and cognitive issues are nearly solved for good.
I told him that getting healthy would take at least 100 hours of therapy, and now he'll never have to see me again. Thank God for that. That guy was a real piece of work.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk
Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program here, live Saturday edition of the show. And in the studio with you tonight, you've got me, Ian.
And Chris.
And Will.
Now, of course, you can bring up anything that you want to discuss. Toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We are not using Skype tonight. We do have a Discord chat, which we're testing out, the Discord call-in line, which we haven't yet had a chance to check out, but we're going to. We've actually had a gentleman in there who's been waiting very patiently because we've been talking about the minimum wage throughout pretty much the whole show tonight, although the last couple of calls have been about cryptocurrency, and we're going to continue that discussion here. And so, again, toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And if we get the chance, we'll also be discussing the revenge porn phenomenon and a new increased punishment proposal that has come up here in New Hampshire that was heard this week at the State House. Again, it's just a proposed bill,
right?
But it's disturbing because they want to add revenge porn, people who've been convicted of putting somebody's picture online without their consent, usually after a relationship goes bad is when this tends to happen, that person should end up on the sex offender registry.
No.
We can talk about that coming up here in moments. But let's go back to Kimbler on the line in Myrtle Beach. You were talking about the future of, I guess, money, and you didn't have a whole chance to really get your thoughts out there in the last hour. So please, go ahead with your thoughts.
No, where we left off at is about maybe since we're going into a digital market with all the coinage and the actual money. I mean, and I have some other comments just to make in general about Horry County here before you cut me off.
Okay.
Because we are very, how should I phrase it, in the dark on a lot of subjects here. So as far as education and jobs and the minimum wage and everything.
Okay.
But when we go into the digital market, the actual money, are we going totally digital? I mean, should people hang on to it? Because I know about the coinage and silver is more, than what it's made today. So you pick up from that point. And
we're having some trouble with the phone line here, Kimbler. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate hearing from you tonight. The question was about kind of the future of money. Is it all going digital or what?
I think in my shop, we have a Bitcoin vending machine, and that's a place that you can go and put in green dollar bills and get Bitcoin back. And so we see a lot of people that are getting into cryptocurrency starting out by buying Bitcoin, and they may keep Bitcoin or they may sell it and buy something else with it. But a certain segment of our customer base are the silver bugs. That's what we refer to them as, and these are the people that have been into precious metals for an awfully long time. And what they're seeing is they're not seeing the gains. I suspect, it's bank suppression of prices and bank market manipulation of the silver and gold prices. So they're checking out some of their precious metals and they're purchasing cryptocurrencies, and some of them are doing really, really well at that. But every one of them is still retaining a little bit of gold or silver.
Sure. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket.
Correct. But there are a lot of people that are in crypto that would never consider. I've seen people, be ridiculed, like on crypto Twitter and stuff like that, for even bringing up the idea of holding precious metals as an investment. They're like, well, you're just losing out. I mean, you're not making the big gains that Bitcoin is. It's like,
but if the internet gets shut down or the EMP hits and all electronics are gone, those people are going to be,
that's
rolling.
What you always
example
hear.
would be Davi. You guys know Davi Barker.
Davi Barker, the Muslim agorist.
And he used to get paid in Bitcoin when he worked for antiwar.com. And he would spend his Bitcoin on gold Swiss bars.
Right.
And now he has gold Swiss bars that he spent like $70,000 or $80,000 worth of Bitcoin on each gold bar that's worth $1,000.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah.
We've talked about our $1,000 hamburgers. And
Yeah. So, I mean, he actually lost money by investing that money into gold. I started out as a silver bug. You've known me for years, Ian. I stared out as the guy that, I didn't take Bitcoin, but I'd still take silver.
Right.
And then eventually, I kind of got into the new digital thing. I don't think it's going to be one or the other, though. I think it's going to be like, if they ever get central control out of it, it'll go like back to like it was for all of human history. Some people, if there's enough silver and gold to use silver and gold, people will use that. People that have enough to use bits will use bits, and people who don't will use some kind of a local commodity that's easy to access and easy to trade.
Right. I don't think we're going back to seashells. That's the point of what I think crypto brings to the table. Is it's highly convenient, easy to transport, seems to be retaining its value.
As long as there's internet access. But if you're on a campground with spotty internet, good luck getting your Bitcoin transaction through.
There is a great video by Andreas Andropoulos. You can find it on Antonopoulos, I'm sorry. But he talks about that, and, you know, his point is you can literally do Bitcoin on paper. So, no, it's not realistic. But there's also other things like the crypto satellite project that's going on that provides satellite access to the blockchain, and
that's
all
cool.
these different things.
What's the satellite connection going to cost, you know, for me to have a link up to the blockchain on the satellite? That doesn't sound cheap.
It isn't. It's open source, so it's however much you want to spend on your equipment. That's what it costs.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that satellite, you know, transmitting to a satellite is probably not going to be within the range of the average buyer.
For real, yo, I'm not setting a satellite up at PorkFest to sell T-shirts for Bitcoin. It's just not happening.
But also, I seriously doubt, as much of a prepper as I am, I don't put a lot of stock in the internet's going to go away, or we're going to face a massive EMP that's going to take everything out.
Those are highly unlikely.
They are highly unlikely, and, you know, if you're assessing risk in your everyday life, I mean, are those things that you really consider, unless you happen to be in Hawaii this week?
Anything can happen.
Right.
That's for sure. But again, that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
And while you can look at buying a bar of gold with Bitcoin as a loss, Will, which is what you were suggesting that it was, because your money could have done better elsewhere, you can always be kicking yourself over those sorts of things like, oh, well, if I'd only known, because hindsight's always 20/20, but in that moment, it was like, okay, well, I would like to have some gold. I have enough Bitcoin to afford a bar of gold, so therefore I can have, you know, if I have enough Bitcoin to keep some Bitcoin and to have a bar of gold, then you're in a better position if something bad happens to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
True.
And that's what he was doing, diversifying.
Yeah,
he was diversifying his investment and cashing in one thing that was a less stable investment, so to speak, because it was the early days of Bitcoin when it really wasn't worth a lot, and nobody knew that it was going to be $15,000, you know, in 6 or 7 years from then. So, like, he was doing what he thought was the best for his investments at that time.
It's a great quote by Tim Draper. Tim Draper's a pretty famous investor and money guy, and he's big into cryptocurrencies, and he said somebody asked him, you know, are you going to sell some of your Bitcoin now that the price hit, like, 10, 12,000, like this was in December, this speech was. And he's like, sell my Bitcoin for what? His whole point is what is there outside of cryptocurrency? He owns a few of them that I really feel would be a better deal. What, sell it for cash? Get green dollar bills
that are worth less tomorrow than they are today.
Exactly. Do I sell it for
gold? I did that this year. I sold some of the church's Bitcoin for cash because we needed cash for operating expenses.
And that's different, but you weren't doing it as an investment. You weren't sitting there going...
No, cash is not an investment.
No. So
you weren't sitting there going, boy, this U.S. dollar, it's really taken off.
With cash and cryptos, it's like this. You can put your assets into cryptos, and it might go up and it might go down.
Yep.
Or you can put it into cash, and it will go down.
It sure will. Right. Over time, that's going to happen. Just talk to the folks in Venezuela. They'll tell you about it. Or look at the amount of groceries $100 buys today versus 20 years ago.
Sure.
Let's go to we're going to go to Discord, where we are going to be doing an experimental call here in the new Free Talk Live LRN.FM Discord chat, which anybody can join, by the way. It's a multi-platform thing. So Linux, Macintosh, Windows, Android phones, iPhones. Anybody can get into this Discord chat and talk with other listeners. We got Stefan in Ohio. Stefan, are you with us?
Yes.
All right, now you get to hang on because we're going to come back to you here in moments. Just making sure you're there. 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And check out the new Discord. It's something new for us within the last few days, and it's working out really good. There's like 80 people that have registered for this thing so far in the last few days. Discord.lrn.fm will take you there. This is Free Talk Live. We got more coming up.
Thinking about getting into cryptocurrency but feel overwhelmed by the high price of Bitcoin? Or maybe you've used Bitcoin in the past, but were turned off by the high transaction fees and slow transfer times. It's time you looked into Dash. Dash is digital international money that you can send anywhere, anytime for less than a nickel. With Dash, your transactions can be instant and private. Dash offers a fully incentivized and decentralized peer-to-peer network where miners are rewarded for keeping the network fast, strong, and safe for its users. Start your journey at Dash.org. Since its launch in 2014, Dash has made a huge impact in the crypto world and is showing no signs of stopping. Check out Dash.org for more information about Dash and get in now on the future of cryptocurrency. Dash.org.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Cash. It's perfect for beginners, and the Bitcoin.com wallet makes using and holding Bitcoins easy. No logins are required. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, dial toll-free. Join us right here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, so Skype on in here at Skype username LRN.FM. Cryptocurrency is hot right now, and we certainly talk a lot about it here on Free Talk Live. Zencash was founded in 2017. It's one of the new kids on the block as far as cryptos are concerned. There's a lot of choices out there, as we mentioned just a moment ago, over 1,400 of them in the cryptocurrency markets right now, according to CoinMarketCap.com. So why Zencash? Well, they've got some of the best tech from crypto, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, but anybody can do that stuff, so what makes them different? Well, they're voluntarists. According to the white paper, which actually mentions voluntarism, Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization, and they've got the philosophy to back it up. Check it out over at zencash.com, and it's a secure platform for money and messages as well that can be sent encrypted to anyone, anywhere in the world. That's zencash.com. As we continue here with your calls and thoughts, we're going to the Discord chat at discord.lrn.fm, where Stefan in Ohio is on the line as our first guinea pig. We're trying out the this new way for people to connect with us. We've had Skype in the past, and we still have Skype on this same computer, but I wanted to try something new here tonight since we got this new Discord server, which actually you happen to be the one to really kind of push us over the edge into getting it set up, although some people had requested it previously. So thank you again for that, Stefan.
It's working good.
It's really working very well. With it, I think I counted 75 members.
It's over 80 now.
It's over 80 now.
Nice.
So it's awesome. In like 4 days, basically.
Right.
So, and you sound great. It sounds as crisp, as clean as a Skype call does. Go ahead with your thoughts. What were you calling about tonight?
I was calling about a challenge I've been seeing going around the internet. It's called the Tide Pod Challenge.
Oh,
Have you heard
no.
of it?
I just read about this. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there was a commercial or something a while back. I think it might have been a parody of something The Onion put out, where it showed a gentleman sneaking into a room and eating Tide Pods as kind of a joke. And a lot of kids and even adults are putting videos on the internet where they will put these in their mouths
and
start chewing them.
Are we talking about dish detergent?
It's laundry.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened is apparently there have been 6 deaths because of this.
Yeah. And the other thing I heard about this was it's not just kids, but it's been adults with dementia that see it see that they think it's because they're brightly colored. You know what I mean? Looks kind of candy-like. Yeah.
And it's strange because a lot of people are now pointing the finger at The Onion because they had put out a tweet back in July that said Tide debuts new sour apple detergent pod.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Everybody's pointing the finger and saying, you see, it's all The Onion's fault. They put out this joke and people took it as the truth, and it's The Onion. They're going to do that.
What are the ones where people will somehow persuade people to put their iPhone in a microwave? They'll tell them something about how it helps the signal or whatever, and they'll
it demagnetizes the electrolytes in the battery.
Right.
Nice.
So I mean, there's just all kinds of bad advice on the internet. You have to be careful, and that is one of the downsides of this particular information technology. That the internet has brought all these wonderful things, the transmission of information and instantaneously all around the world. These Wikipedias and Googles and these tappable human knowledge that's just out there and just en masse and easy to access. I mean, there's been so many good things that have come from it, but also there's so many stupid things that have come from it, and sometimes stupid's funny.
Right.
But in the case of these internet challenges, some of them are dangerously stupid.
Right.
And, it's when we were all growing up, there was plenty of things that I mean, maybe girls, yes, I don't know, but I grew up with boys, right? So, boys do some stupid things, right? Little boys do some stupid things, but now that we have the internet, the potential realm of ideas of stupid things has now expanded, because it used to just be you and your buddies and what stupid crap you could figure out how to do.
Right.
Now there's all these dumb challenges on
my juice box.
Right. The TV show Jackass and the videos online, that was supposed to be comedy. No, it turned out to be inspiration.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And then people, it becomes this challenge, and it's, it could hurt you or kill you or whatever, but
people think it's cool.
But because it doesn't hurt or kill everybody that does it, people think it's safe, and so they'll go ahead and do it, and oh, wait, you were allergic to that thing, or oh, whoops, you just choked to death. Or whatever. I mean, it's
saying Darwin Awards.
It's like this challenge that was floating around last year that people were doing to get likes on videos and views, where people would pour nail polish remover on themselves and light themselves on fire.
My God.
It's like, what do you think is going to happen if you put, nail polish remover or alcohol on your hand?
Yeah, that's going to work.
Put on fire.
My favorite.
People have this idea, science class told me it will evaporate before it can burn me.
Oh, there you go. Public school education. My favorite was the guy who held up the phone book in front of his chest while his girlfriend shot him with a 44 Magnum and died.
They thought that was going to protect him from...
So again, at some point, this is actually culling the herd. It's not nice to talk about, but it is sort of, Darwinism in action.
The boiling water challenge.
Which one's that one?
Some stupid fool on the internet poured boiling water on himself.
Oh, God.
He's like, it's like the boiling water in snow or something. Like he's standing outside and he pours the boiling water over and he hits himself like right above the nose and it just all over his chest. And he screams as soon as it hits his face, and then he lays down in the snow. And it's like, no, that is a terrible idea. Don't do that.
Natural selection at its finest.
Yeah, I mean, that's true and everything when it comes to adults, but little kids, they're going to be more likely to do stupid things, even if they would have ended up a smart adult or something like that.
Well, yeah, if it's a child, I see it. But if you're an adult and you do this, I'm sorry. You deserve whatever consequences hit you. I know not to eat laundry detergent pods.
No doubt. Now, the people with the laundry detergent pods, are they actually consuming them, or are they just, like, swishing them around in their mouth?
Even if they swish them around, there have been instances where they'll swallow them by accident, and this can cause permanent damages to your organs.
My God.
Well, you realize that there's a warning on a Preparation H bottle that says not for oral use, okay? So you know that at some point somebody was dumb enough that they were like, I bet I eat this. I bet I'm supposed to eat this.
I got chapped lips. I'm going to put this on there.
I guarantee you that warning's on there already.
That's what he said.
No, it is. There is a warning label on Preparation.
No. I'm talking about Tide Pods. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
That's been on there probably since day one. Not for internal use. Don't eat these.
Take it off. I say take the warning labels off and
It's just giving people ideas, the warning label.
Thin the herd.
Oh, man. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Stephen, for the call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing from you. And that Discord sounded good.
Didn't it?
It does.
So, Discord chat is at discord.lrn.fm. If you want to jump in there, of course, you're welcome to do that. Let's continue here. And if you want to share some of the dumbest challenges that you've seen online, I mean, just terrible ideas. And if you want, you can admit whether or not you actually did it.
And live to tell about it.
Yeah, the toll-free number here is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got some calls on the amp lines coming up here as well. We'll talk to some of our Free Talk Live amplifiers, which you can become one. We'll tell you more about the AMP program on the way here at amp.freetalklive.com, because there's some new perks for Free Talk Live amplifiers since we have this new Discord chat. We can now add a new perk for those who are supporting the show financially, because we appreciate you. More coming up here in moments. You can join us on the radio. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Saturday edition of the program. We're loaded up with your phone calls about whatever's on your mind. Also, we got the Discord chat room available. Well, you can chat with other listeners, but there's also now a Discord call-in method that you can try out. Discord.lrn.fm will get you in there. Chris, you just jumped in to the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And although your name is not Chris in the Discord chat, so that may throw some people off.
Yeah.
But you're listed as a host, so that might help. Anyway, so you can join us in there. You can join us online in a lot of different ways. We're also streaming live on Twitch, so hello to everybody watching us on the internets tonight. And, of course, out there in Radio Land on, 100 stations or something like that here tonight. It's a lot. We get a lot of stations on Saturday. Over 160 air the show throughout the week at various different times.
Saturday's the most.
Saturdays is our most. But I've never actually taken the time to count up how many of our stations carry the Saturday show, but it's most of them.
Looking at the list, it's a pretty complex calculation.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but definitely Saturday and Friday and Saturday are the most.
I would say Saturday is the most. I don't know if Friday is anything more than any of the rest of the week.
But really, Thursday is the best show.
That's the one that you're on, and you are very good. I will give you that.
It is truly the best show.
Dash is digital cash. It's a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it can be private and easy, fees are low, and transactions are quick and can be confirmed instantly. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime for pennies on the dollar. Dash is decentralized and run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the Dash network. So join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. You can take back control over your financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. Go to Dash.org and you'll find out why. As we go to your calls and thoughts, we got Sharon in Long Beach, California, listening somewhere on the radio. Go ahead, Sharon.
Hi. I called in last Sunday night about my son being killed at a VA hospital here in Long Beach.
Oh, sorry to hear about that. Terrible story.
I was hoping, the story is god-awful, but over the past 2 years I've done a little bit of research on my own and found out it's not uncommon.
Nope.
As it is, there has to be millions of vets that have died this way. In Los Angeles alone, in a 3-year period, that hospital killed 140,000 vets just by erasing them from the computer when they come in for diagnosis with a problem. They just erase them like they were never there and keep putting them off until their illness kills them.
Yeah, normally bureaucratic malfeasance and laziness just results in high budgets in most departments. But when it comes to people's lives, it results in dead humans.
Within the average Democrat wants that to be what we all receive.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened with the VA system is about when all this started about 4 or 5 years ago. The Pentagon had been given hundreds of billions of dollars by President Obama, and that was supposed to take care of generations to come of vets that needed care. Instead, the Pentagon embezzled the money, kept it a secret. Yeah, the head of that big news show on Sunday nights.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Not 2020, but the other one.
Yeah, whatever.
He actually broke the story, and then he said that because they kept it a secret, they didn't have the money anymore to help these people, and somebody decided that just let them die.
Well,
this has got to come out soon.
Not surprised. Now, Chris, you were in the military, so what do you have to say about this?
I've never used any of my VA medical benefits. I could at any time.
That's what you said last Sunday night. I remember.
Actually, he wasn't on Sunday, but
I wasn't,
there was another guy.
Somebody was.
Yeah.
I've never used my medical benefits, but maybe at some point I'd consider it. It would have to be the last possible choice because I would not voluntarily choose a socialized healthcare system if I could avoid it.
Because you're going to get bad service.
Yeah,
and you might even get dead.
Well, yeah. The other real issue I have with it is when we come up with a VA and it works pretty well during more or less peacetime. Not that the U.S. has ever really had a peacetime, but now we have the results of 16 years of horrific wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, where the problems are vastly different and vastly worse than in a peacetime army. And I know these vets, and a lot of them are flat out broken. That's the only way to describe
suicidal. Their soul has been damaged by the.
You're exactly right.
They love their country. They went voluntarily over to these god-awful countries and lost limbs. Sometimes it's a mental thing because of the things that they see.
Like killing innocent people.
And get nothing but bureaucracy. They're supposed to get the state-of-the-art.
It was policy
for one thing.
It was policy to screw vets over. It was literally stated under George Bush policy. The only good thing that I can think of outside of privatizing NASA that Obama did was he stood up and he said, you know what, sending these kids to the head shrinker and having them declared having a personality disorder so that we can wash them out and never have to pay them any benefits. And this literally was George Bush policy to do to veterans. Getting rid of that policy was one of the best. Was one of the few good things Obama did while he was in office.
What they've done is criminal, and George Bush Jr. is still alive, and he should go to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But thank you for the call tonight, Sharon. I appreciate hearing from you.
They'll just find Dick Cheney another heart so we can keep him alive for another 15 years.
In the same way that they're not going to put Hillary Clinton behind bars either. It doesn't matter how much evidence of whatever it is that these people have done.
Oh, come on.
They are untouchable.
Come on. I just want to see it.
You could catch
that
George Bush with a 6-year-old, and they would find a way to spin it, and then he would go to his ranch in Texas.
Let's go to, we got Jay Noon on the line, calling on the amp lines. Hey, Jay.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I was calling tonight to talk about this House Bill 628 here in New Hampshire, which is a bill to have a 0.5% tax on paychecks, basically on income, essentially, to support health care or Medicare within New Hampshire.
Just so listeners know, New Hampshire is one of the states that does not have an income tax, and there are always attempts by these statist reps to pass an income tax, and they thankfully have not been successful every single time they've tried it, but they keep trying. So this is the latest version, 0.5%.
Sometimes they backdoor them and don't call it an income tax.
They definitely don't call this an income tax. They call it some kind of, wish-washy, medical benefit, blah, blah, blah.
But it's a tax on income issued by or assessed by the company.
Call it a required premium.
But do they have? I'm sorry to interrupt here. Chris, what you're saying is that they call things by different names. But it's my understanding that New Hampshire doesn't have anything resembling an income tax as far as a per paycheck amount that goes to the state of New Hampshire.
Well, this would be that. This would be a very small percentage, but not an income tax.
But you weren't saying they have something like that. That's under a different name.
They're going to backdoor it with a new name, and that's what
they're trying to do.
They try to hide it in a different kind of bill, and they're going to end up with money to fund another entitlement program.
If it
passes.
It's the Milk for Cute Babies and Kittens Act. Why do you hate babies and kittens?
It's probably, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say, like every other time this has been tried, it's going to fail. This is probably a different configuration, because normally they'll come right out and say we want an income tax. So they're trying to cover it up this time, but I don't think they're going to be able to sneak it past the legislature. But what about it, Jay? Why are you concerned?
So what I'm concerned about is it did pass the House of Representatives.
Oh, my God, really?
No, it didn't. It passed a committee. It passed a committee.
That's not the same.
And committee. But what upsets me the most about this is a couple of so-called liberty-minded, free state participant, liberty-minded, supposedly liberty-minded representatives that are actually supported by the NHLA. I don't know what their record is, but they're on there as liberty representatives. Amanda Bode and Eileen and Elizabeth Edwards have voted yes on this, and I got it here on my Facebook page.
All right, stand by. We can continue here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown, but these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the crown. Not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder. Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body. Why take another pill? Treat your aches and pains with Sunshine Pillows. Microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra-large body heating wraps. Sunshine Pillows and wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it, even while driving. Sunshine Pillows are designed with your comfort in mind, will not burn you, and will stay balanced on your body to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunshine Pillows start at just $20. Join hundreds of our happy customers and see why Sunshine Pillows has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Click sunshine-pillows.com and take the Sunshine Pillow Challenge. That's sunshine-pillows.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Moments remain here. Enough time maybe for you if you get on the lines right now. Our toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. We've also got a Discord chat where you can talk with other listeners and hosts of the show over at discord.lrn.fm. Plus, you can get a Blink home security system delivered to your door. You get 3 Blink cams for what some of the other guys will charge you for 1 security camera. And it's about the easiest security system to install you're ever going to come across because the cameras are wireless. You unbox them, you pop the batteries in, you plug in the hub. That's the one wire in the whole system, the power cord for the hub. And then you connect it all and you get it all set up via your favorite Wi-Fi enabled device like a smartphone or a tablet. And then the Blink system will send you clips of things that happen in front of your cameras during the time frames that you specify for it to do that. And you can set how long those clips are as well. So you go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL to get yours. We've been talking with Jay Noon on the line here about a bill, and I wish we had Daryl with us tonight because he's a walking compendium of all things State House and bills related. So there's this bill.
I can give you a little bit of data here.
There's a bill that's proposing to put in a income tax, but they're not calling it that.
Right. It's a family and medical leave insurance, and
well, who could be against family and medical leave insurance?
Exactly. And I'm moving down here to the part where it talks about funding this program. Quote, all employers subject to this chapter shall remit FMLI premium payments on a calendar quarter basis. These quarterly insurance premium payments shall amount to 0.5% of wages per employee per week for each week of the preceding quarter. So
it's not an income tax.
It's an insurance premium
that your employer is being forced to pay as a part of your
no, it's coming out of your money.
Really?
He has to remit it as a portion of your income. But this is, 628, an act relative to a family and medical leave insurance program.
So they're putting the pressure, if this passes, they're putting the pressure on the employer to do all of the work so the employee won't be filing papers at the end of the year with the state.
Yeah, there's a couple other facts, and Jay might have these in front of him, but it seems like this program also requires 44 new state employees at...
I can't believe this passed the State House. I
can't believe Free State representatives are voting for it.
What it says here is that this bill has a roll call, and I just looked at the roll call.
Mm-hmm.
I went on to a Facebook, Sarah Chamberlain here. I'm not sure they even know her, but she was one that I kind of just came in my feed yesterday. as I was messing around here and looking at stuff while it was raining. And it went to roll call, and there was 183 yeas and 151 nays now in the House of Representatives. So I don't think it's like passed anything yet.
No, that would mean that it has passed the state. That would mean that it has passed the state representatives and has moved on to a different committee, possibly the Senate committee, to look at this.
It says current committee, Commerce and Consumer Affairs, and then it doesn't have anything for Senate status yet.
Yeah, I don't know why it would go back to another committee. I don't know enough about the internals of how everything works in the State House, which is why I say Daryl would be the right person to talk to, but he's just not on the show tonight about that. This is a surprise to me because I can tell you that in New Hampshire they have a pledge that the New Hampshire, there's like a taxpayers group that is anti-tax, and they ask all of the candidates whether they will sign this anti-income tax pledge. And they all have to sign this thing in order to basically get elected. Even the Democrats frequently will sign these things because they know they're going to go down in flames. New Hampshire people do not want an income tax. I don't believe this is going to ultimately be successful. I just can't believe it.
You saw just how willing they are to turn on this kind of thing, though, with Grover Norquist, though, because there were lots of Republicans who are in the National House and National Senate who also signed statements stating that they would never vote in favor of a tax increase, and instead what they did was they spent 3 weeks attacking Grover Norquist and saying that he supported Hamas, and then voted in favor of a $30 billion tax increase. So they attacked him so that it was totally okay for them to go back on their word in the fact that they had signed this piece of paper saying they would never vote in favor of ABC, and then go vote in favor of ABC.
Well, what's good about living in New Hampshire is we'll have the opportunity to go down to the State House, go to these committee meetings, and offer our testimony. They cannot deny us that.
That's true.
You're going to have a lot of people speaking out on this one. A lot of people, particularly on the Republican side and on the Liberty side, are furious with this. To me, it looks like a backdoor.
It's a Republican House. So how did this even get passed in the first place?
29 Republicans voted yes on it.
Yep. But again, don't call it what it is. Come up with some, what's your example? Which is
the milk for cute babies and kittens act.
Yeah. Well, now there is an opt-out provision apparently in here, but that is, going to be few and far between because people probably aren't even going to know that the opt-out option
won't even be explained
even exists. So the disturbing part beyond the fact that this even passed the state representatives, and again, it still has to go to the Senate, it has to be signed by the governor. So odds are good it's not going to make it through. But again, maybe these state reps didn't really realize what they were voting for because who could have opposed?
We had a little conversation. Well, a text message conversation with one today.
Yeah.
Amanda Bolden, because
she's a Free State Project participant.
Sent her a message.
She's a Free State Project participant who moved here supposedly, as the rest of us did, to be more free and to move things in a more pro-freedom direction. But this is the second time now when she's been caught up in controversy over her votes in the State House. There was one a couple years ago that she voted for a major Medicaid expansion at the state level, and she got a lot of hot water from some of the other libertarians over that. She was elected as a Democrat, and basically their excuse back then was, and we'll hear what her excuse is now, but the excuse back then was, well, it's politics. We had to do what we had to do for our party in order to get our stuff put through.
Remember when Liberty folks booed Rick Santorum for saying that exact same thing, and then as soon as Ron Paul didn't win that election cycle, they all so many of them just gave up that value and became the very Rick Santorum that they were booing and mocking and heckling just months earlier.
Well,
I mean, what is going on with the Free State Project when you've got people who finally get
politics,
elected?
Dude. This is the thing. You think you think you know somebody as a libertarian, and then they get some power. Well, it turns out that power corrupts, and so even libertarians are subject.
They like staying in office. I mean, for what? $100 a year?
For $100 a year.
What are you getting? You got to be getting more than. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have to be getting more than $100 a year to sell out your principles like that. Either that, or you never had them to start with.
Jay, keep an eye on this one. What was her excuse? What was the text message?
So we asked her why, and she went on about how she struggled in her life, and it's posted right on my Facebook page. Her response. And,
I don't have Facebook. Sorry.
And she said that it could be, we could repost it. But one thing she puts in this whole thing is she says, "I am disappointed about the opt-out option, because I do think that this should be applied to everyone, or easily to everyone. I don't know if the program will be successful if too many people opt out. I hope there's an amendment to remove the opt-out. What that means to me is that somebody who's a Free State Project participant, somebody that is, recommended by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, basically, is saying that I want to make sure that you pay taxes, and I am. And men with guns are going to make sure you pay taxes.
Wow, she's completely jumped the shark at this point.
This is why I don't put a lot of faith in, okay, you're a member of the Free State Project, or you've got a good rating. I get it, right, but what's that say? It doesn't say anything to me.
Jay, thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing from you. And we shouldn't be surprised about this. There's some Liberty Republicans who vote for some things that are not pro-Liberty either.
Sure.
They don't tend to get the level of heat that Amanda Bolden does, simply because I think she's a Democrat, and so more people are paying attention to her and saying, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. But there's plenty of things some of the Liberty Republicans do wrong as well. But anyway, wanted to mention another thing here tonight, and that is the Free Talk Live AMP program. You go to amp.freetalklive.com and you get some cool perks, and you can back up our show, and you can help us get on more radio stations around the country. One of the newest perks that literally is going into effect today is the new Discord chat. We've got a new AMP subscriber tag or whatever that you can get, so you can become part of the AMP group on Discord. And there are now chat rooms for amplifiers and supporters of Free Talk Live and LRN.FM, so they can have their own little chat rooms if they want to with one another. So that's one of the new perks. Also, one of the other exciting things besides Discord and Twitch, which are the two of the new things that started this week for Free Talk Live and LRN.FM, is we also now have a weekday program. Another weekday program, this one, Afternoon Drive. It's hosted by you, Will Coley.
Yeah. You can catch us on the TuneIn app or on LRN.FM or, one of the pirate stations around.
Or on Twitch.
Or on Twitch. We, as far as I know, are the only show in libertarian airspace giving you 2 chances to win. Twice an episode. If you listen, you can call in and win free cryptocurrencies between $5 and $100 worth every single episode. We gave away almost $200 in free cryptos last week.
That's amazing. Go check it out over at thecalltofreedomlive.com. That's the new website. It's going to be fleshed out soon. Meanwhile, join us at freetalklive.com.
I just heard the best sales pitch I've heard in a long time on an airplane. The flight attendant announced, if you paid more than $75 for your round-trip ticket, you overpaid. This is brilliant because everybody on the flight paid more, and I was struck by how all the road warriors stopped typing and reading and working and looked up. The announcement invited us to apply for the airline's credit card. And the sign-up bonus? Enough frequent flyer miles for a free round trip. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. With some banks offering free credit cards, $75 is an outrage for an annual fee, but a bargain for airline tickets. For more tips on communicating more effectively, hit survivalspeech.com, where you can see how I got the CEO of another major airline to shower me with freebies. I'm Holland Cook.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace